Hey, it's been a while. Like almost 2 months, a while. Virtually all of that is due to my job, and didn't really want to start off with this, but just so you know, I between Valentine's Day and April Fool's Day every year, or every year in the last 17 years, uh, my work schedule increases to the point where I am working 16-hour days, 7 days a week with no days off. And I call it the grind, and that's exactly what it is. So anyways, that's where I've been. You might ask, is it worth it? I mean, some might say no, but I don't know. Thinking about it. Maybe. So anyways, if I had done this vlog episode even 2 weeks ago, I would have said nothing has happened. But in the last 2 weeks, things have happened. So that's good. So I'll break it down just for, like I said, posterity's sake. So when I look back, I'll remember the bad stuff. No. So the last episode, I think I went into it a little bit. I apologize. I didn't go back to the last episode to review. But I believe I talked about how SoCal Edison was basically slow rolling us as to where our electrical box was going to go. It took about 3 weeks, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when you start adding it up, it adds up. It's a lot of time. So 3 weeks where our builder wasn't doing anything. We were just waiting for them to show up. So then that got taken care of, and I think that's what was on the last episode. Great, got what we wanted. Then the LA County Fire Department gets involved, and they have to inspect our sprinklers, indoor sprinklers, which we never asked for this. We didn't ask for the sprinklers. We certainly didn't want to pay, I think it was like 20 grand to have these sprinklers put in. We were forced into putting these sprinklers in. Now, eventually, hopefully we never get to use them, but if we do, I'm guessing it'll be $20,000 well spent. But right now, so we had to wait. But they don't give you a date on the calendar, and they say, okay, we're going to be out in 3 weeks. It's so not transparent. I believe someone would call that opaque, where they just call you and they'll say, okay, are you available tomorrow? So you can't plan. You can't look into the future and say, well, what can we do? Because it could be one day, it could be 4 weeks. So after 2 weeks of waiting around, I asked my builder, I'm like, I don't want to insert myself and make things worse, but would it hurt if I called? Because he had called them multiple times. No one ever responded to his calls or emails. And he was like, normally I'd tell you to stay out of it, but he's like, it's not going to hurt at this point. So I made a phone call. I got an actual human being, picked up the phone, nicest guy in the world. And I don't know he didn't give me his name. I don't think he wanted me to know, because he says to me, okay, I'm going to give you our director's personal cell phone number and her email and another phone number if those first two don't work. Call her. Tell her what you just told me. I've gotten pretty good at distilling our tragedy down to like 30 seconds, unlike this vlog. So I called. It was late in the day. I left a message. Wasn't expecting anything. So Friday rolls by the next day, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to send an email at noon and just follow up, because I'm guessing no one listened to the voicemail. I was literally sitting down to write the email, and I get a phone call from her office, not her, but someone else, saying, hey, we've got a cancellation next week. Do you want that? And I'm like, yeah, I do want that. So ultimately, that took 3 weeks to get them to come out. That was with a cancellation. It could have been 4, 5 weeks. And again, we don't know, because you would think that in this day and age, when you can, there's these things called computers, and you can schedule things ahead of time, that they would be set up that way. And maybe I'm expecting too much. Maybe, again, I'm just naive to this whole process. But it doesn't seem like it's that difficult, so that you can plan. And again, we're in a different situation in some ways because of the fires. But it's no different for anybody else. Why would you have to wait all that time and not know? I'm an old man shouting at the clouds at this point, but it's just it keeps happening. And you'd think I'd be used to it by now, but I'm not. Every time we get slowed down by something, what I deem to be stupid, yeah, it just drives me crazy. So during that 6-week period, which is kind of funny because that 6-week period was almost exactly the same 6 weeks that I was not available. I shouldn't say nothing got done. We were able to finish the garage, and which they weren't planning on doing until the very end, but my builder was like, well, we're who knows how long we're gonna wait. We might as well get it done now. So it's not like nothing got done. And then, we were able to tackle sort of little things, but ultimately we were waiting on SoCal Edison and LA County Fire Department for 6 weeks doing diddly squat. But good news, we've got stuff going on. Let me show you. So our front door arrived. Got a nice little arch. The door before the fire, original door, was rectangular. We decided to go with an arched door this time. And it's sort of playing on a theme as I cinematically pull back here of other arches in the house. See, look at that. Got a couple more, one right there, one right there. Now all we need are some golden arches, and we are golden. And if you can see here, we've got the beginnings of our coved ceiling where they need to sort of frame it out. Let me come over here. That's gonna be like the corner. Actually, I think that was a test. I think it's gonna be bigger than that. That is the actual size. And that's just gonna go around this whole main room, up and around. The bathroom fixtures, or the placement of where the sinks are going, all the lighting, all been finalized now. All the ducting is now going through the house. Don't know if you can really see it, but the HVAC system has been installed, or at least placed. So that's good. The windows arrived, and the windows have been installed. Not only have they been installed, they have been inspected, and we passed inspection. So that was that didn't take any amount of time really to do. That took probably a couple days. But again, it's just one big long process, and happy to see these bad boys in. The roof tile. The roof tile had been sitting on the house for about 2 months. Finally, it's in. That little patch there, they're leaving for the fireplace, which I'll get into in a second. But it's starting to come together. It's starting to look like a house. Imagine that. So this is our garage. This is what was built while we were waiting. It's not fancy, it's a square. But I built a 3D model of it to help me visualize how we were gonna space plan. And that was very helpful. Come over here. This sub panel was, because I did that 3D model, we were able to determine that we could fit it in right there. So that was a benefit of that. This is it from the outside. Even more compelling. So doors going in, the garage doors going in. That garage door will never be used, but I guess permit-wise, we had to put one in. So what are you gonna do? Insulation. And again, the addition of the insulation, it really starts making the house feel like a house, at least from the inside, because it just knocks out all the wind and everything that you can hear outside, and it's starting to feel like an actual house. It's pretty cool. And then after this, obviously, they're going to start drywalling, which the drywall has arrived. I think they've still got a couple more rooms that they have to insulate. And then we are off to the races. Okay, the fireplace. Wouldn't say that this has been a huge time suck, if you will, but we have had run into some issues with this, which we feel like we now have figured out. So basically on our plan, when we had it drawn up probably a year ago now, we didn't really know if we were going to be able to get true like for like. Our old fireplace was made out of brick and was wood burning, and we weren't sure if they were going to allow us to have that, even though they were telling us that we were getting like for like. So our builder put in gas, which is fine. We have a wood burning fireplace at Chris's parents' cabin up in Big Bear, and it's nice. It's everything that you would think it is, but they're dirty. They're like, oh my gosh, it's like you've just got soot and you've got wood chips everywhere. And I started thinking about it. It's like, we don't really use the fireplace that often. I'm just going to be 100% for real. It comes down to the look. It's the aesthetics of the fireplace. It's not the function of the fireplace that we're super concerned about. But because it's like for like, we wanted it to be made out of brick, or at least something that they, masonry that they don't do really anymore. In fact, what we found out is if you have any kind of modern fireplace, it's like a self-contained unit that you can pull in, pull out to service it or to clean it. And that just wasn't going to work for the look. We couldn't find anything that matched what we had before. And because the fireplace really is kind of like the focal point, at least of the front room, it's the first thing you see when you walk in. We really wanted it to look the way it did. So the county wasn't really fighting us, but they thought because we wanted to change it, that because it was masonry, I think they thought we were trying to make it a wood-burning fireplace. And it's like, no, that's not our intention. We're not trying to go around the code or whatever. So it's being built as a gas fireplace, but it's being built out of, I guess, cinder block, whatever else they're going to use, so that we can at least achieve the look that we had before. So that was a long process. It wasn't really holding up anything, but it was just one more headache that we had to deal with. But eventually we got what we wanted. Or should I say, it hasn't been built yet. So we at least got the approval to do what we want to do. So we'll go from there. So next steps are they got to finish the insulation. I would say, looking around the house, maybe about half is done, but I think it only takes them like a day to finish that up. Then they've got to drywall, and I think I said that was like a 2-week process. I'm trying not to get locked into how long things take anymore, because I'm always disappointed. But anyway, I think we're looking at about 2 weeks. And then from that point, that's when it really gets moving from what we've been told. As far as, the house starting to look like an actual house. So tile work, that being on the floors or in the bathrooms, in the kitchen. In the meantime, we have had our kitchen builder, Giuseppe, has been working on the cabinets, and Chris. It's funny. We haven't really changed our mind on a lot of things, but the longer you have to think about stuff, it does sort of like make you think, did we make the right decision? Let's just sort of double, triple check what we came up with a while back and make sure it's what we really want. So Chris has been doing that with the kitchen and the 2 bathrooms. The tile has been purchased, so we're just waiting for the next, the drywall has to go in first, and then the tile goes after that. Then there's the flooring that goes through the whole part of the house. I'm not too worried about when that's gonna happen. I think we have like a 2-week lead time to get the flooring out here, so it's not a big deal. But it's starting to happen. It's starting to look like a house. I think we are on a timeline of end of June, early July. Again, I don't want to keep saying that because then it starts becoming August. But I mean, that's all I can go on is that, which is funny because I get back from Zimbabwe. The kids and I get back from Zimbabwe. I think June 26th. So that's right about the time when we're going to be probably ready to move in. So I'm going to be jet lagged and coming back from that nice little trip, tired, but I'm sure, once I get a little bit of sleep in me, it's going to be house. So, but that's good. That's a good thing. That's a good problem. That's the problem I want to have. So hopefully the next episode won't be as long as in between each episode as this last one, but it is what it is.